Hi, this is Tom Gill from Hyperstrength.com. I'm here back in my home garage gym, and I wanted to keep going on a little series I'm doing about starting into a program, the different progressions you could go into. On earlier videos I talked about stabilization and then progressing from a stabilization program into more of a strength-based program. So where do we go from there? You know, you could actually stay in your strength-based program and be totally fine, and you could implement so many different programs just based on strength. But then you could take it from another level. From there you could go into a hypertrophy program. Now a hypertrophy program is the increasing in muscle size. So if you want to get bigger muscles, there's ways that you could do that through a certain program, which would probably include loading calories a certain way and then maximizing loads for muscle building. The way a hypertrophy program works, you would do like high volume in your exercise regimen, and then moderate to high loads. So you would do moderate weight or very heavy weight, and then you would do, and depending on the weight, you would do moderate amount of reps to very low reps. And then there's other types of ways, other types of little strategies you could use. One that I used with some of my clients is what I call time under tension. So you would do different cadences. So you got the concentric portion, which is the lifting portion of an exercise, and you could do that very slow and deliberate, maybe 3 seconds, sometimes up to 5. And then you could do a static hold, and then make sure you're firing all those muscles, and then kind of bring it down and kind of repeat it and do it very slow and controlled, and just make sure that you're firing all those muscles. And that could help with a hypertrophy program, concentrating on certain muscles. You could do that with curls. You could do definitely isolation exercises for certain muscles that you're trying to build. If you're going to work on biceps, but you want to kind of do it all a full body workout, obviously, but you would do conventional splits, but you would gear the program more towards hypertrophy, which would be moderate to high loads and then moderate to low reps. Time under tension type of strategies, which really work. Depending on the concentric and eccentric, which eccentric is lowering, you could kind of slow it down on the lowering. And so there's different ways to do that. So that's just kind of a scratching the surface on a hypertrophy program. Now from that point on, you could go into maximal strength. Now maximal strength is totally just heavy loads and low reps. You'll learn how to recruit motor units in your muscles. Where you're doing heavy loads, say a squat for instance, you learn to bring it down controlled, and then you try to explode up and try to fire all your muscles, and you do very low reps on that. So again, high loads, low reps. Most important thing, I cannot stress it enough, when you're going through basically the hierarchy of what you need to do to get to the more of the higher, the loaded exercises and the really heavy loaded exercises, start from the basics. Know that you got your stabilization there. Know that you're gaining the strength, and when you start getting the higher loads, make sure your form is point on. You want to definitely study form. You can have the best stabilization and think you got it, but if you start putting loads onto the bar that your body can't handle, and your form starts slipping, and you continue to do that, you will injure yourself. So definitely work on the form before you start going to the maximal strength, hypertrophy to the maximal strength, and then go from there. And don't be ashamed, or don't be afraid to go lightweight, to kind of concentrate on it in the beginning, and then do them deliberately. Feel how it is to fire the muscles that you're trying to fire, and sometimes doing with very light loads helps, and then you could go from there. And then you could start progressing to more heavier loads, and then you could build your program from there, whether it's kind of when you want to just build, you want to do muscle building, or you want to do strength building. So that's pretty much my tip for the type of strategy you want to use and where you want to go as far as your goals, whether it's muscle building or muscle strength or both. There's different ways to kind of implement different strategies in those exercises to get both. I mean, you know, when it really comes down to brass tacks, yeah, you want to get bigger muscles and you want to get strong. So, but you want to do it the right way. You want to work every plane of motion and you don't want to get injured. So when I say every plane of motion, you want to work the frontal plane, you know, the sagittal plane, which is back and forward, and then the transverse plane, which I think is the most important, is the twisting. You know, your body, you know, the human body is meant to move in different ways, you know, not just a front to back motion. We twist a lot, which is the transverse plane. So we want to work all planes of motion, and we want to make sure we're strong in all planes of motion. If we're not, we're going to have muscle imbalances. And when we have muscle imbalances, it's just an injury waiting to happen. So with that said, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to start putting a lot more videos up, and on my website I'm going to have a lot of different strategies and different exercises for stabilization, functional movement, stuff that's going to really help you gain a strong body in every sense of the word. It's not just, you know, in one plane of motion. You're going to be athletic, you're going to be strong, and you're just going to love it. So next video I'm going to talk about more into the type of training that I'm probably the most versed in, is more of the power training because of my background and some MMA stuff that I've done. And so until then, I'm going to leave it there. Just train with proper form, all planes of motion. Okay? Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Hit up my website, enlighten me. I'll try to enlighten you, and I'll give you any information I could try to find that you need. Okay? Thank you.